All right, folks, my next guest is the former National Border Patrol Council Vice President and current Border Security Advisor for FAIR, the Federation for American Immigration Reform. Happy to have back to the show, Art Del Cueto. Art, really good to have you, my friend. You're featured in this documentary called The American Border Story. You cover the first Trump years to the Biden years and back to Trump. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell us about those. Do we have a clip, guys? If we have I think we might have a clip, yes? Oh, okay. We'll play some of it while we talk about it. Tell us about this film, Art.
Look, it was very exciting to make this film with Anthony Aguero. He did a fantastic job coming out here to Tucson and getting the stories out. And I think that's what it comes down to. Look, I've been very vocal during the first Trump administration. I was very vocal during the Biden administration. I continue to be vocal and tell people, the reality of what's happening on the border. But I've done it for many decades. I did it, I started doing it back since President Bush was in office. And I think that's what it comes down to. There's a lot of stories out there. There's a lot of issues out there that continue to plague the southwest border and the northern border. I've had the opportunity to go up there to Maine about a month ago and see the issues that they have up there. And what it comes down to is people, they need to know the reality of what's happening. And unfortunately, during the Biden administration, there was many individuals that came across into the U.S. They asked for asylum and they were released inside our country. But at the same time, there was many gotaways. And because they didn't have the agents out there on the ground to count the gotaways or to see how many people were coming across, there is no telling how many got away. And I think that is a tell-all sign of what we're seeing now with ICE agents and Border Patrol agents working interior enforcement, arresting a lot of individuals in tactical enforcement positions. But the big attack on them is saying, well, they're arresting individuals that don't have a criminal record. And that's simply not true. They're arresting individuals that are in the country illegally. That alone is a crime. And the reason they're arresting individuals more so than they originally thought is because of the gotaways. And at the same time, when you go into a neighborhood and you arrest individuals with criminal background, they happen to be hanging around with other individuals that are also here illegally. You can't turn a blind eye. You got to arrest a lot of those individuals as well. And I hate to say it, when you're arresting people in the United States, they're quick to point the finger at other individuals in the country that are also here illegally. So it's expanded the arrests of ICE and Border Patrol into other neighborhoods as well.
Very quickly, just weigh in on Governor Gavin Newsom passing a bill in California requiring ICE agents to remove their masks. I mean, it's insane, but we've talked about, but what's your take on that?
Look, it's just political theater. He's grandstanding, trying to think that he has some kind of power, which he doesn't have. He can't take over and tell the federal government, you're not allowed to cover your faces while you're doing a lot of this enforcement. And why are they doing it? They're doing it because they've been doxxed. Why does Governor Newsom want their faces seen? Just so he can publicly embarrass them. That's the only reason. Years ago, he was asking everyone to mask up. Now he's telling people, that if you're a federal agent, you can't have the mask on. And the only reason he's doing is for political theater. He knows he really truly can enforce that, and he's just doing it to be malicious to begin with. God bless the women, the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol, the uniform that I proudly wore for many years. They're out there trying to do a job that is, there's a lot of people that are grateful, but they're unfortunately in areas like California, areas like Chicago, where they're trying to enforce the law. There's a lot of individuals that are not very grateful of the job they're doing, and I say prayers for them each and every morning and each and every night.
18 U.S. Code, Criminal Code 111 says that if you infringe or inhibit federal agents or agencies from doing their jobs, you can be thrown in jail for up to 5 years. I say they throw that statute at Governor Newsom. Let's just answer the big question right now: government shutdown, Schumer shutdown, and the Democrats, for some reason, have hung their hat, so to speak, on this idea of providing health care, Medicare, Medicaid, and Obamacare for illegals in this country. Republicans say no way. How insane are they to take this tack and shut the whole government down over an issue like this?
I mean, it's completely insane, because what are you actually saying? They want to turn it around and make it about themselves and say, well, the Republicans are going to shut down healthcare for American citizens. Well, it goes to the same side on them. They're wanting this shutdown based on what? They want their own constituents to suffer benefits at the expense of handing over some of that money to individuals that are illegally in this country. I've seen it with issues in the budget-wise in Arizona, and it is just unfortunate that they're able to take a spin on that. But I'm very confident that those in leadership positions, I don't want to say dig their heels in because that sounds horrible, but I'm very confident they're going to do what's right for the American people moving forward.
I just saw, I don't know if it was Transportation Secretary Duffy or not, or one of the people working with him. They estimated, get this, there are 190,000 illegals who can't read traffic signs or speak English with CDL licenses, the commercial driver's license in this country. Can you imagine how dangerous this is and how we never, ever thought of this?
I can. It's very frustrating. And I think, unfortunately, we've catered to that at some point. I live out here in Arizona, and one of our major freeways that goes from the border into Tucson, it's not in mile markers. Everything is in kilometers. And it is for that reason to begin with. So, I mean, that, I guess, is one subject in its own. But it comes down to, if you're going to come into the United States and you're a commercial truck driver and you're making money, well, I think you should adhere to the laws, and being able to understand the signs of the road is a simple ask.
You know, it's amazing. It's not just illegals coming from Central and South America. There are a lot of Asian, a lot of Chinese illegals coming across driving, and there are documented cases. We saw the family got wiped out a couple of weeks ago. There's 5 people that got killed, including an infant, I believe, in New Mexico, and so on and so forth, because they're incapable of reading the traffic signs. It's such we need to be pulling these trucks over, doing road stop checks on every 18-wheeler, and if they can't read a simple plaque that an agent, a cop, or whoever, law enforcement, get out of the truck. You're not driving on this highway, right?
Eric, during the Biden administration, it's estimated that they arrested individuals from 168 different countries worldwide. That alone tells you it's not just individuals that are speaking Spanish. It's 168 different countries worldwide. And you're absolutely right. We need to have a proper vetting. Look, I am 100% in favor of immigration, but it has to be legal immigration. And you got people that are jumping on this bandwagon. You have movie stars and political influencers and musicians that are jumping and saying that it's wrong and they're attacking ICE. Well, my question to every single one of those musicians out there that are attacking law enforcement for doing their job, I don't see them allowing just whoever wants to enter their concert for free. They're asking, that people buy their concert tickets. Right. Why should our nation's borders be any different? All right, there's a legal way, an illegal way to do it.
I got to leave it there, my friend. You're always good having you on, and congratulations on the new gig. We'll get you back again very soon. Thank you, Art.
Thank you, Eric.
Cueto. Thank you.